A 15-year-old girl leaves her house on a Thursday morning, tells her mother she is walking to the local library, and never comes back. She does not appear on any train station cameras. She is not seen at any bus stops. She simply vanishes from the street. 10 years pass. For Laurel, the girl's mother, time stops completely. The pressure of the disappearance crushes her marriage to her husband, Paul. Her other two children move away, leaving her isolated in a new-build flat, stabbed in a permanent cycle of waiting for a daughter who isn't coming home. Then, the police call. A dog walker near the port town of Dover has made a gruesome discovery. His terrier dug up a rotting navy blue backpack buried in dense woodlands, surrounded by human remains. Inside the bag, investigators find the exact items Ellie left with a decade earlier: a new-look t-shirt, white trainers, and a pencil case. But they also find a glaring anomaly. Tucked in the bag is a passport belonging to Ellie's older sister. For years, police assumed Ellie had run away, but wearing the exact same clothes for a decade while carrying a stolen passport directly contradicts that theory. Laurel finally has physical evidence of where her daughter ended up, but knowing her location only amplifies the impossible math of the crime itself. A smart, cautious teenager walking down a busy street in broad daylight simply doesn't evaporate into thin air. To understand how the trap was set, we have to rewind the timeline to the months before the disappearance and locate the exact moment the trajectory shifted. The catalyst was a math test. Ellie, an ambitious student, worried about her upcoming exams, scored a B+. Frustrated by the grade, she went home, declared her teacher useless, and demanded her parents hire a private tutor to guarantee her an A. Enter Noelle Donnelly. Recommended by someone down the street, she was unassuming, cheap, and available for weekly sessions at the dining room table. The most dangerous threats rarely announce themselves. They arrive quietly, invited through the front door, disguised as a practical solution to a mundane everyday problem. We are conditioned to look for obvious monsters, but Noelle was an awkward, middle-aged woman in a bobbly sweater, smelling faintly of cooking oil. Beneath that mundane exterior, she harbored a bitter, chilling resentment for a teenage girl whose entire life, university, boyfriends, summer vacations, lay brightly ahead of her. Her tactics were subtle. She offered Ellie cheap jewelry and fruit-flavored lip balm. She asked bizarre, highly personal questions about the worst things that had ever happened to her, blurring the line between academic instructor and intrusive confidant. Ellie actually felt the friction. The sessions made her deeply uncomfortable, and she successfully convinced her mother to cancel the tutoring entirely, citing her need to focus on geography instead. She identified the threat and removed herself from the room. But severing a professional tie doesn't neutralize a predator who knows your routine and is willing to change their approach. The abduction didn't take place in a dark alley or a locked house. It happened on a bustling high street during the May half-term, when Ellie bumped into Noelle by complete coincidence. Noelle weaponized the exact vulnerability that brought them together in the first place. She casually mentioned she had a highly coveted math practice paper sitting inside her house, just a few doors down. Surrounded by daytime foot traffic, Ellie followed Noelle to a small, scruffy house with a flowering cherry tree outside. She stepped through the front door, and it closed behind her. A routine errand intercepted by a familiar face offering homework help. The sheer normalcy of the interaction left zero witnesses, creating a perfect abduction that baffled the police for an entire decade. This investigation record confirms Laurel and Paul buried the partial remains of their daughter. The forensics report in the second paragraph details that Ellie was run over, buried in a shallow grave, and her bones scattered by animals over the years. It is a devastating reality. After 10 years of chasing ghosts, this provides a harsh finality. Laurel finally allows herself to exhale, drop her guard, and attempt to rejoin the world of the living. This newfound openness leads her to a cafe in Stroud Green. She strikes up a conversation with an American man named Floyd. He is charismatic, intelligent, and funny. They share a slice of carrot cake, and for the first time in 10 years, Laurel feels a genuine spark of romance. They go out for dinner, and Floyd shares an unsettling detail about his own past. The mother of his youngest daughter walked out one day when the child was 4 years old. She vanished without a single trace. 10 years earlier, Ellie's fate was sealed by a polite conversation with a seemingly harmless stranger offering exactly what she needed. Now, Laurel smiles at a charming man, surrounded by the exact same brand of impossible disappearances.